Okay, so we talked about bids. So how we try to get our partner's attention, affection, energy, right? We're trying to get something from them. So we are bidding. We are putting out a bid to connect with them. We are, again, trying to get their attention in some way. And so we are bidding. Now we can respond to bids, and I touched on this a little bit in our last video, and I'm going to go a little bit deeper on this because it is really, really important to be as attuned and mindful to what our partner is also saying, so we don't miss these. And we very easily, much like in the Peanuts TV show movies when the teacher talks, wah, 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 wah. I feel like my entire family, that's how they hear me. Mom walks in, it's wah, wah, wah. Nobody heard anything, and I'm constantly mad about it. And I believe that happens in our relationships too. We kind of just hear our partner and I know what they're going to say, and we tune in, tune out. Might be able to say exactly what they would say and then kind of jump in at the end, which then means we're missing bids. Right? We're not fully aware or attuned to what our partner is saying, and then we're making an assumption, oh, they're starting to talk about this. They probably are going to want me to do that, which very likely isn't the case. And then we're not even responding in a bid that's like, wait, hold on, let me get clear on that. Did you mean X or Z? We just assume, and we don't even respond to the bid. Right? So I'm going to back up a little. I'm going to kind of break it down into the different ways in which we can respond to bids. 3 ways, typically. First way, we can turn towards. It's very beautiful. It is very positive. It is, I would really like to have sex with you tonight, babe. Is that something we can make happen? Clear. How clear could I be of what I would like to do with my partner? And can we make that happen? Super clear. So he could say, yes, I will make sure that I get the kids to bed. I will not let any distractions our way. And absolutely, you know I do. Beautiful. I was very clear in my bed. My partner responded in a very positive way. Now, he could have also said no, but still turned towards my bid, right? So he could have said, oh my God, babe, you don't know how much I want to hear those words out of your mouth. Any other day of the week, I would say yes. However, I hurt my back so bad today that I don't even know if I can do that where it would be enjoyable. However, I know by Friday, I am probably going to be better. Or do you think you could maybe give me a back rub? I mean, there are still ways in which you can turn towards that bid without actually having to agree to what is being asked of you. Okay, so that would be very beautifully, here's my bid with full clarity, and here's my turning towards. Now, this next one is one that we all do, and we all do with such frequency, and we don't even realize how frequently we do it. I'm on my phone, and someone's talking to me, and I'm like, yeah. Sure. Okay, so I probably didn't hear anything. And I just basically let everyone know who's bidding for my attention that what I am doing is more important. I cannot even stop what I am doing. I can't even tell you that I need you to hold on so that I can stop what I'm doing so that I can come back to you. What we call that is mindlessly turning away. And that happens so frequently. Bids are stopping. So when we get mindlessly turned away from with that level or that like amount of frequency, we just stop bidding, right? So let's just play this picture. I walk into the room. My husband is on his cell phone. I don't check in to say, hey, do you got a minute? I just start monologuing and talking. And within my monologue and my talking, I have some level of bid in there. It's probably pretty vague. It's shrouded in a lot of other things and logistics. And my partner says, sure. Yeah. And I'm like, well, they didn't listen. Or they said, sure, sure, sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But then they didn't sure, sure, sure the thing they said they were sure, sure, sure going to do. And so now I'm mad. Like, why do I even waste my breath? Why am I wah-wah-wahing out there if no one's going to listen? So, like, I'm not going to do that again. So the next time that I walk into the room and I might have some things I want to talk about and I see my partner on his cell phone, I might just walk away. And I'm like, well, the last time that happened, that felt really wonderful. So, right? So I could be like, oh, on your phone again. Look at you. Must be nice. It's amazing. Awesome. Bid. That's my bid for connection. Awful, but it was a bid. I'm not going to get someone that's like, oh, let me put my phone down and be like, oh, just like you, get on your phone. I mean, it's just comical what happens at that point. Or I can also walk in the room and be like, never mind, and just walk out. So I am not even creating the opportunity for potential connection based upon the history of feeling as though my bids weren't turned towards. My bids might have been really, really clear in the beginning and they were mindlessly turned away from. They might have been vague since the beginning and they've been mindlessly turned away from. Regardless of how the bids were coming out, they're probably going to stop. The mindless turning away is so prevalent. And it's cell phones, it's TVs, it's computers, it's iPads, it's the kids' baseball games, it's you name it. It's just distraction. So much distraction. And so we are not as present and we are not as attuned and we don't hear somebody's voice or like, hey, can I talk to you? And then we stop what we're doing or acknowledge in any way. The other day I said my kid's name. This happens all the time, but I said his name like so many times. And then by the time he finally answered, he had such attitude. I was like, bro, you just answered me just now as if you have answered me every time I've said your name, and you haven't. The lack of awareness that we all sometimes have, that in his brain, he was answering me, but he wasn't. So the presence is so important. So we don't just even assume that we said, yeah, what's up? I'm hearing you. That's how detached we are, is that we often think we actually are acknowledging somebody when in fact we are not. So that's the one to be the most aware, because that is the one we fall victim and prey to far more frequently than any other one. Because we are so distracted and so unaware and not tuned into what is going on. And it's the silent, it's like not actively negative, right? Like, it's not like my partner's like, go fuck yourself, Beth, right? Like, no, he just didn't look up from his phone. And then I can create all kinds of assumptions and messages in there. Does it care about me? What I have to say isn't important enough. He's an asshole, selfish. I mean, I can go all day. So being really aware. And again, it's very much not, I don't want the belief to be that you can walk in a room and just start talking and everyone has to stop what they're doing because mom walked in the room. Superstar. No. You see someone on doing something, even your children. I have to work on this one. A respectful way to approach them is, hey, I have something I need to talk to you about. Are you about to finish up? How much time do you need? Right? Kind of checking in instead of assuming you're doing nothing important and I'm here, therefore I'm the most important. But checking in so that your partner can be like, oh yeah, I'm just scrolling. Yeah, what's up? Or yeah, let me finish this email. I'm trying to figure out what's going on for this weekend for my mom, blah, blah, blah. Give me 5 minutes and I'll come find you. I didn't have to stop exactly what I was doing to make that a turning towards. I just said what I needed. And it was kind. And hopefully my partner's like, yeah, sure, no problem. Because we very much kindly spoke to each other like humans that are kind, that are clear. The third way right? Which end was the most negative way. And typically you're going to find this more often in higher conflict couples, where contempt is going to be probably more present, where you would feel freer to say something, which is an active turning away. So, hey, babe, I was thinking we could go over to John and Sally's this weekend. They invited us. I thought that might be really fun. And that might be going on while your partner's like reading, and he can put down the book and be like, why are you even talking to me? Like, can't you see that I'm busy? Or it could be like, why would I want to go hang out with John and Susie? That wasn't the right names, but that's my sister and my brother-in-law's name, so we're going to go with them. Why would I want to go hang out with John and Susie? Like, they're the worst part of your family. I mean, I guess I can see why you would want to maybe go hang out with them. All right, so I have insulted you. I have insulted your family. I have made it clear that in no way was I interested in speaking with you, and you have, in fact, disrupted me. You have thrown in you have taken out so much of the goodwill, if any was in there. I mean, my thoughts are, if that's how we are responding to bids at this point, if you're watching this and that is the bids at which that are coming your way, we have bigger problems, likely. So my hope is that nobody that is watching this and doing this course is in the place where that actively turning against is happening with like a pretty high level of frequency. If that is the case, it is okay, but we need to do some bigger work. I mention this more so to those of you who are not there, hopefully, as a warning that when we are in the mindless bidding, I'm probably only going to walk away so many times. And then I'm going to come hard. I'm going to see you on your phone, and I'm probably going to come at you. The mindless turning away isn't going to happen anymore. It's going to be actively turning against me because I am coming at my partner with, criticism, and I'm coming at them in no way with the soft, loving bid to connect. I'm coming at them ready to fight. Thinking in my head, it's a bid to connect. So what we kind of went over, right? We have our turning towards, which is our most positive, most beautiful way to turn towards someone who is throwing out a bid to connect, throwing out a way to get your attention, affection, connect in some way, right? Turning towards. We do that more frequently and consistency when all the other things in the relationship are doing well as well. So going back to love maps, when we're working on and we're updating those, when we are being very mindful, intentional, and putting a lot of effort into that second level, it's easier to be responsive and attuned to bids. It's easier to be clear in our bids because there's more trust. I can say, I want to have sex with you. I feel that confident that even if you said no, I'm okay because you're going to do so with love. Right? So turning towards, that's our goal. We also have the mindless turning away, which is so prevalent that I need you to be mindful of this. This is something I need you to be aware of. And it's not as though, again, I'm expecting you to stop everything you're doing, but there is this notion of, can I stop for 30 seconds to say, I see you, I hear you, you're important, I have to finish this email, and then we can talk about that. We can turn the mindless around. It can be a turning towards. And as a partner who sees or is afraid of bidding because of getting that mindless turning towards, that we can interject. We can say, hey, something I tell all my clients to do within our first session of meeting, our first feedback session, is something you can start right now is when you are trying to bid to connect with your partner and you feel as though they are turning away, especially mindlessly, that you can say, hey, I'm trying to bid to connect right now. Because what that does is like we're pulling out this common language that we're all using together, and we're not being critical and we're not turning it into a fight. We're just saying, hey, like a little reminder. And it allows your partner to say, oh, that's right. Hold on. Okay, we can do that, and we can do so kindly. Now, the last way, right, of the ways that we can respond to a bid is the most negative, and that is to just actively turn against. Whatever it is you're wanting to do, connect with me, I am not interested. And I can't even believe you would ask me. Right? We're falling on contempt when we go to that level of actively turning against. And like, do you feel that you would go to your partner if again and again and again if that's the response? No, you wouldn't. Because it's too scary. There's too much potential for pain and hurt. So I'll come and I'll vaguely start to bid, because that'll protect me. Instead of saying, I want to have sex with you, I might say like, our bed's kind of cold, or I'm cold, or, right, I'm not being clear. I might ask, why did you do this? When really I'm trying to say how I'm feeling. But it didn't feel good. Doesn't make me want to do it again. Therefore, I'm not going to bid. If I'm not bidding, my partner's not bidding. There's no bidding, there's no connection. There's no connection, there's no marriage. We're just two people sharing a house, raising some kids, and kind of adulting together. But even that's not going so well. A marriage is about connection, is about creating positive connections, whether that's intimacy, vulnerability, fun, joy, connection through conflict. It's all about connection. So this level is like highly, highly important. We have to learn how to bid with clarity. And we have to learn how to respond to these bids with as much positive turning towards, even if the answer is a no, so that our partner will continue to bid, creating the opportunities for connection. That is what we need more and more of. We need more connection, not less. So this homework assignment's really cool because I want you to think about ways that you tend to respond, ways that your partner tends to respond. And I want you guys to create, say to each other, can we, call each other out if the other one's trying to bid and your partner's missing it. Create some rituals around that. Have fun and stay connected.